Okay, so welcome to the latest episode of the Talking Wheels podcast. The weekly Speedway podcast comes out to you every Saturday. And I'm your host, Michael Wright, Writer74 on Twitter. And I can see my co-host up in my top left here on the Zoom. So Lynn, if you'd like to just say hi.
Hi, I'm here too.
So Lynn's here. Lynn, our resident Glasgow Tiger fan, more on that later. And with us, a really special guest, somebody who, actually, the more you look into his career, the harder you find it to narrow it down, really, and be able to talk about just one part. So a very experienced rider, somebody who has a great history in the sport, and we'd like to find out more. And it's Martin Smolinski. So hi, Martin, and thank you.
Hey, all together.
So what are you up to? You're in the workshop. Is this on your own machinery? Is this on preparing stuff for other people? What are you up to?
I know I'm quite busy. I've been, I had some, at the moment I'm very busy with doing engines for from juniors. It's a 250 engine for Adam Buba. It's a very quick young guy from Czechoslovakia, and he's quite happy with the engine, but they made something wrong. They flat over the carburetor, so it have to be a quick service now, but I got a completely redone, like a new piston, new crankcase, and a new big and bearing, like a big service. Now it's short before finish, and if I look on the clock now, the postman is coming at 3 o'clock to pick it up. They need it for a weekend, so a little bit of a rush, and that's not the only one. I got a lot of stuff to do. Some Swedish boys and the same postman, I think today we will pick up this engine. He drops off an engine from Sweden, so it's at the moment I'm not so easy with all the services because I'm quite busy with my health, so it's been an operation. I had a new hip inside and got a hip replacement, so I have to plan everything very strictly.
Wow. How are you recovering from that? Do you still kind of feel it a lot now? How is it going?
I mean, what should I say? I mean, just now, it's now 14 days ago after like a hip replacement. I've been in hospital. On Tuesday, they put out the clips, from the scarf, and it's looking quite okay. I'm quite happy. It makes I'm a different person. I would say my hip is 2 centimeters higher now. My feeling is I'm maybe 5 centimeters bigger now, so I'm a big man again. And the main pain is gone again. So throughout the last 2 years, I had a lot of pain in my hip, and I've been working very hard to get it done. And now it's the right way to. I'm quite happy, So it's this week it's all right. And next week I go for some rehabilitation. Then I'm away for 3 weeks. That's the reason why I'm at the moment a little bit busy to get all my customer work getting out, So it's they need to get all their stuff, and I need to prepare some stuff. So if there's something goes wrong, I always got some engines in stock, but they can borrow if they need, So it's quite a good stuff,
Oh, I mean, it looks like you want to come in.
Oh, I've got a load of questions here. My German's not fantastic. How did you feel on Sunday? I believe you were originally going to be riding at Neustadt, and then you weren't. Were you doing anything else there?
I mean, it's always bad if you go to a meeting and you completely. I'm very close with Neustadt donor. My name was on the placard, so all the people knows I'm coming. I was on the radio, made some radio interview before. They have a race there. But at the end, I mean, I had to, my operation was coming first, and for me it was very bad to be there and just watch it. But I'm always quite busy. I mean, if I'm there, I have a lot of interviews, seeing the fans, talking to the fans. After 3 years absence of motorsport at Neustadt Donau, throughout Corona, it was quite nice to see all the people very relaxed again. I'm always have a quite big merchandise shop. I'm like going there, selling my stuff, and it's always quite busy there, and have a chat to the fans, and that's been quite good. And even like some people coming there, and even I'm very close to some riders. I help them out with some setups and doing some things, and or like delivery Anlass tires, So the people been waiting for the Anlass tires, and I'm the German Anlass tire dealer. So I'm very very involved in all the speedway sports. So if they need something, they call me and I drop off some stuff there.
No, but how did you feel not riding?
I mean, on the one side, it's that's racing. I mean, I would love to stand there when the tape goes up, but on the other side, I've been happy to have my hip replaced and then pain-free again. So it's I'm sure I will come back. No worries.
Okay, so have you got any dates in mind for coming back?
Yeah, the plan is at the moment, I take it quite easy at the moment, you know. I mean, the last 2 times I had to, you know, the accident is now 3 years ago. You know, like last year I had the 2nd operation, so it's the 3rd year now, nearly. So it's and the last 2 times I had the operation, the hip, I had the accident. I was trying very, very hard, and I had a very strictly planned, and I've been put a lot of pressure into my body, you know, to be ready again. What is sometimes maybe not the best. At the moment, I take it quite easy. I would like to be back end of the year, September, October. I would like to do maybe 2 or 3 meetings, depends. But, you know, I got one plan. I would like to race it all here on my home track here where I'm living. To be back here, it's on the 8th of October, I think. But that's quite easy. You know, first my body have to be, I would like to be 110% fit again. My fitness level is at the moment not the best, so I need to push it up again. I want to be back to 110%, and if everything is back again, I'm back on the bike.
Excellent. I'll look forward to that.
How long have you been doing the work then, Martin? You've obviously been riding now for a fair while, most of your life, I guess. But how long have you been doing this side of it, the mechanical side, and getting involved in helping other riders?
I mean, I'm into mechanical stuff since I'm a small boy. You know, it's different to other speedway riders. Before I went to England, at these days, I went to school and I was, you know, I learned the job. You know, I made an how it's called in English is that. I made an approval, you know, so I was learning motorcycle mechanic. I went to school for 3.5 years. Then I was working 1 year as an employed man, you know, in a motorcycle garage. And since these days, I mean, I've always been involved in engines. I do a lot of stuff. In the last 20 years, I'm working on my own engines. I know how to do everything. I've been working, the old guys know the guy, you know, I've been working nearly full-time for Otto Lattenhammer 2007, 8 and 9, or, you know, like nearly 4 years I've been working for Otto Lattenhammer. He taught me a lot about engines, you know, and everything. So then I went a bit more, you know, I went a bit more working, less racing, and then I changed my mind again a little bit. So I went to be more like racing and less working. And then it's going to be more and more the last years because I like it, and I know my own engines, they be quite big. I've been cooperating with some big companies. I have some Porsche engineering guys. They do a lot of hard working for me, CNC drawing, CNC machining. I'm very close with Marcel Gerhardt. I was quite involved in the production. I've been factory rider with Java. You know, we've been winning the Longtrack World Championship on a Java engine. You know, behind me was 5 GM riders, so it's so we made something right. At the end, I've been quite involved, and the biggest change I made, I think it was 2000. Let me think now. It's 3 or 4 years ago. I called Janne Andersen. He was in these days one of the best engine tuner in the Speedway world. He'd been in the last 10 years top 10 of the Speedway in the Speedway Grand Prix with his engines. And I had an engine from him on the bench, and I liked it quite a lot. So, and I would like to have some more camshafts. And I called him. And then I bought one camshaft, and out of one camshaft, I bought the whole company. We started a good, like a friendship. And he said, Martin, what are you doing when you finish Speedway? I said, Jan, I don't know. Maybe I'm working on engines. I do some vintage car repairing. I do, you know, I'm quite big setup. I got a quite good second black on the floor. And he said, you can buy my company if you want. And I said, what do you want? I sell everything. I promised my wife when I'm 65, I finished with working. And no Speedway engine anymore. I said, okay, we can see what's happening. And, you know, I flew over to Manila, and we was racing there the day after, you know, I went to Gothenburg. I meet him. I looked about the workshop. He showed me everything. We sit down a little bit. Some months later, I was coming again. And, you know, we made a handshake and we agreed. So, you know, I emptied all his workshop, and he was happy. I was happy. And I'm still good in contact with him. If I need something, I can give him a ring. All my cylinder heads are still being done now in Sweden from a 5-axle CNC company. So when I build up new engines, there's still some machinery in Sweden where companies working for me, like throughout all the connections I have from Janne Andersen. And I'm not the only one working on this machine. So there's a lot of knowledge, a lot of stuff behind it. So I'm even throughout this system, I cooperate very close with some of the biggest, best engine tuners in the Speedway sport at the moment.
And did you, sorry, Lynn, I know you're coming in a minute. And did you find, Martin, you know, the change between the upright engines and the lay-down engines, did you find much difficulty kind of adjusting? How have you found all of that?
Oh, I mean, this is quite a long time ago, you know. This is, but at the end for me, I don't care if it's an upright, if it's a lay down. Just for working on it, I don't care. I mean, I do uprights, I do lay downs. I do Porsche engines, you know. So there's no if they're coming a monocross engine, I do a monocross engine. So it's I mean, I'm not only based on Speedway, you know. So my knowledge is quite big, and I don't care what it is. I mean, every engine is something special. You have to think about it. Of course, it's much easier when you say you only do Speedway engines, but you know, it gets sometimes a bit boring because, you know, it's sometimes nice when you got like a 16-valve engine here, like a making service of cylinder heads or some 16, you know, Ford Kent block engines, you know. So it's quite interesting, you know. It's not only Speedway.
Wow, over to you, Lynn.
Right. Well, I know you're quite good with engines, and I hear that you bought some from Chris Harris that he'd finished with and made them go better than he did.
Yeah, I mean, that was a quite funny story, you know. I mean, it's always about the money-wise, you know. You have to look at how much money you buy, and first you have to spend the money, and then you have to earn it. We know the money in England is not the best, you know, and it was 2013, I think, or 2012, I don't know which year it was, right? And I had the opportunity, you know, Chris, hey, he had got some engine for sale and the price was good. And I said, hey, Chris, when I buy all three of you. And then he took all the engines, and at the end, he didn't like them and the price was good. So, you know, I was quite happy with it, with engines, and we made some small changes. And these days I've been working in England together with the old man. Let me have a think. He's living somewhere in the East Midlands. A good engine tuner, but I'm run out of his name at the moment. But at the end, I'm working good to him with him together, and you know, I was feeling good on engines, you know. And I think at these days I've been top scorer in the elite league in England. I scored sometimes 15 points, 18 points, you know, always a maximum. You know, I was starting as a number 7 as a reserve rider, and I was coming up to number 1. Other people have been moaning I had 600 CCM, but at the end I know what to do. I've been clever. I've been working with the engines. At the end, I've been lucky because the engines, after the third meeting, the engine's been paid. And Chris Harris, he's been like, I don't know what are you doing, you know, but I've been playing with all the other boys, and I think that was a good season. And the year after, I went into the Grand Prix, and I've been I've been feeling comfortable on it. I know what to do with it, you know. So I set them up right, and you know, I've been playing with other boys, and if you got like if you got 11.5 average in the elite series, you know, it's not bad.
It's not. I hear it wasn't the best engine for gating, but then Chris Harris isn't a gator either, and it makes it much more exciting to see you weave through.
Yeah, I mean, the engines didn't be good for the gate, but I had the power on the floor, and even if it was the worst skater, I could pass everyone. Doesn't matter. I just passed them inside, outside. At the end, these days, I've been playing with other boys, you know. They didn't like it, but I liked it, you know. So, but I think I remember we made some pictures in these days for a Speedway Star. I made a measurement, you know. I took the measurement and I wrote down 600 CCM, you know. So it's so we've just been joking with it a little bit. So it was quite fun, you know. Good days it's been.
That's good. And you're heavily involved with the youth speedway over there, aren't you?
Yeah, it's also like I'm quite involved in the young boys. I had them a lot. I try to teach them. At the moment, I'm working we've been working on some electronic project for 10 years, so we've been a little bit ahead of it. And the owner and I got the rights for the electronic, in the rights in Germany, and I still got one electronic bike. I serviced this bike just 2 weeks ago, and I handed out to the juniors at MSC Orking that they can race on it. And we are planning to do something more to get the juniors back on bike, but it's not only speedway, it's more about motorsport. For me, the idea is the fun play in motorsport, you know, to hook up the young kids again, to race motorcycles and to get taught about how to race a motorbike, how to work with a bike, the clutch, the gearings, you know, just to get them hook them up on motorsport. So I'm quite you know, I just would like to give my knowledge back to the kids, and it's always the last years have been a bit bad. I mean, that's the reason where my accident come from. When I had the accident, I mean, I've been teaching the kids, you know, so it's I've been showing the kids how not to do it.
Yeah, so have you got any tips for who's going to make a good future from Germany?
Right. I mean, at the moment we have Norik Blodern, you know, he's quite a young good boy. I'm quite close to him, and
Yeah.
he's racing good. He's racing now for Belgium, and but he got a little bit already on his own mind. But I think now he started in England and he see how it's working different. And I just called his daddy last week, and he said, Martin, all the setups what he told us, they're right, but we always went the wrong way, you know. So I told you, go a different way and you will like it. And this is and he's a good man, you know. So even we also got Eric Bachober, he's quite a young talented rider. Then we got the younger boys is working, you know, for Buba, you know. So he's Adam Buba, he's a Czechish guy. He's quite interested, you know. So we have some good young boys coming up, but at the end, what I see a little bit sad is all the young kids, they too much involved in all the social media shit, and they want to show how cool I am and have the best racing suit and the coolest looking bike, and but at the end it doesn't care, because they should enjoy their racing, they should have fun, they should be looking what goes on, and they should be happy when they sit on the bike, you know. And then sometimes they're winning a meeting and they think they're world champion, but to be world champion Speedway, it's a long way, I can tell you, boys.
Yes, do you think that the social media age is putting a lot more pressure on the youngsters to appear to be successful?
Yes, at the moment it's not like it's deep in their mind, you know. So they have to show, and there's some pressure on it, you know. So they want to show what they can, and this is sometimes very bad, because it's no one knows about what's happening with the mind of social media, you know. I mean, at the end, we are old mans, we're just okay, it's take it easy, but it's very important, the social media side, for the younger kids, you know. It's for them very important how many friends I have, how many likes I got on a picture, you know. But at the end, I mean, switch off the phone and enjoy life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess,
what about your own kids? Will you let them ride Speedway?
Say again?
What about your own children? Would you let them ride Speedway?
I mean, that's their own decision, you know. My wife, after my crash, is not so happy about it, that we have so many young motorcyclists and stuff in here. But at the end, there's no pressure on it. I mean, the big one, she's 18 now. You know, like I got a patchwork family, so the big girl, she's 18. She's not interested in Speedway. She helped me a lot when we do some merchandise stuff and VIP areas. My little one, you know, she's now 15, and she's more like you know, a young girl now. She likes to sit on the bike and have some fun a little bit, but no racing really. And you know, the last one, my boy, he's now 2.5 years old, and he likes sport, he likes working, he likes to help daddy in the workshop, you know. So it's he like to maintain all the stuff, but we will see when he got older. When he want to sit on the bike, he say, Daddy, I would like to race, then he can race. When he say, Daddy, I would like to go horse riding, then he go horse riding. So it's he got his own mind, so it's take it easy.
I'm gonna ask you a little bit more, Martin, just going into your career, because you've got, you know, what we could overlook. We talk about the Speedway a lot naturally, but you're the world Longtrack champion 2018, European grass champion. We probably know you, obviously this is a UK based podcast, so we probably think of you more now for your time at Coventry and Birmingham. And obviously I was looking, and the year that stood out for me, and I don't know if you think about this when you look back, but 2007, you just did so much in 2007. You won the league with Coventry. You were at the track reserve and the German Grand Prix, the Speedway, the Team World Championships. There just seemed to be a lot around that period of your career where you really hit the heights. How do you feel when you look back at, you know, your time in the UK with your achievements around that time?
I mean, this is like, when I look about the year 2007, I mean, I think we made the triple, you know. We were winning the elite league in England, we were winning the Craven Shields, and we were winning the Knockout Cup. And I think it was one of my busiest years I ever had. I mean, I've been running around, I think, at 98 race meetings, you know. I've been raced. Wow. It was So it'd be 98 race meetings, but we had 107 or 108 race days because we had also counted the rain off days, you know. So this year I've been quite busy, but like throughout the whole year, or even the years in England, the years with Coventry, I still got very lot of friends from the Coventry days, you know. So it's and I'm still following quite a lot. I mean, especially is Jeff Davis, you know, the main man of bring back Coventry Speedway back to Brentnor. I've been nearly crying when I saw the last fire. I think it was last week. There was a big fire at Coventry. I think it was last week.
Yeah.
And then it's very, very sad the way what the government is doing there, how it's happening. And this is, but I really look back to the time I had with Coventry. I mean, I was learning there. I mean, I was 19 years old when I went to Coventry as a young boy. I didn't know anyone there over there. I was coming alone over there. I had a small, I would say, a container where was my workshop. I was living nearly there sometimes. So that's life of Speedway rider. But I enjoyed every single minute over there. And then even the move then to Birmingham, that been even just, I'm still have a lot of contact with Graham Dury, you know. That been quite a nice time there, you know. So we still sometimes texting forward and backward. Graham's grandson, he was, you know, I was his big hero. He's a big fan of mine. So we still in contact, and he had some birthday some days ago, and we just been chatting forward and backward. So that's been quite nice.
And you've also made a film, haven't you?
Say again?
You made a film, Speed, Mud and Glory.
Yes. I mean, I think I was one of the only, I'm one of the only Speedway riders who's got his own documentary movie, you know, and that's been quite nice. I had a film team that been following me throughout my career, and they showed what we can do, how we've been working. I mean, at the end, it's a 2-language movie. You know, we have German, we got German with English subtitle or English with German subtitle. So at the end, it's like a must watch for every Speedway fan. Go on my homepage, you know, you can buy it in an online shop. You know, it's called Speed, Mud and Glory. It's a super cool movie. It's not just a documentary movie. It's a lifetime story. And it's even if you're not a Speedway fan, you will like the movie.
Would you like to do more movies?
I don't mind, you know, if there coming some upcoming things. At the moment, I don't do movies. At the moment, I'm working as a commentator on Eurosport. So, but we will see what's happening. If there's coming a possibility to make some cool movies, like in the old days, like Bruce Penhall, you know, with the chips, you know, I'm up for it, you know.
You said there about Eurosport. What do you think so far of what you've seen of the new Grand Prix series with Discovery Plus? It's quite an interesting setup.
I think they're making a lot of stuff. I mean, even especially Germany, I'm very impressed how they're working. At the moment, they're like they in the first year, you know, so they have to learn all the things. And there's a completely new team behind it. A lot of small problems we have in the backside, but at the end, that's what they build up. That's the way how they lined up. The way how they support the sport, the way how they represent the sport, it's very, very nice. So they put a lot of effort in it, and it's a completely different lifestyle than before with BSI. BSI was a very small family, you know, there'd been like 10 main people, they've been working there with BSI Speedway. Now it's a completely different story what's working, and it's quite good what they do. Some things I don't like so much, you know. It's like it's a coming and going, you know. What I personally don't like is the build up of the pits is very nice, but everything looks the same, you know. And when I go into the Formula One, I don't see like 15 black boxes, you know. I would like to see the red I would like to see the blue one for Smart Slick. I would see the red one for the red team for Lindgren, the yellow team for Machulik, you know. So this is what I didn't like so much, you know. But at the end, it's a quite good setup what they put on the table. So this is impressive.
It's the same with the cut. Sorry, Lynn, I'll bring you in a sec. It's the same with the colours, isn't it? They've already got kind of SGP race suits as well, and again they're quite similar. But and some of them have clearly had a say in the design of them, but they've really picked it all up, and it feels like they own it in a much bigger way than perhaps before.
Yeah, that's the way how it looks like, but I think they put a lot of effort in it. I mean, if you talk about the racing suits, but yes, you're right. I mean, in the old days, we've been using the racing jackets, you know. Now they have the logo on the chest, but I don't think they own it. For me, this way, if I would be racing a Grand Prix, I would be racing a completely, maybe in a white racing suit, you know, just white, you know, because to stand out, you know, because for me at the moment, we have 4 blue riders and maybe 12 black riders, you know, so this is, it's sometimes very, very hard when you're commentating to see who is who, you know, with the Danish guys, you know, so you have sometimes, you know, if you're under pressure, you know, maybe I got a colleague, he's commentating and he got sometimes problems to realize the riders, you know, so he don't know. Lambert looks nearly like Smatslik, you know, so they're very similar with all the blue stuff, you know, and if the camera is far away, you only see blue, you know, so this is sometimes not so easy, but that's also a way of the riders. I mean, in this case, I mean, we are Speedway sport and all the riders, they need some help, you know. When you look back, I had a big argument when I went to the New Zealand Grand Prix. All my teeth been lined up like in the same dress, you know. We had travel clothes, we had race day clothes, we have practice clothes, we had evening clothes. We've been always coming as a team, like in a polo shirt, with a t-shirt, with a jumper, you know, always the same, you know. And I never been in New Zealand, but when you looked in my New Zealand pits, you know, I had the pit walls there, you know, I got everything lined up there, got the sponsors there, I was the only rider. And in these days, Bellamy saying, hey, in the team talk we had, like in the riders briefing, they say, hey, look, there's coming this bloody German, you know, he's never been in a Grand Prix, so he's better organized than all of you. And that was the main reason why most of the riders hated me. But I mean, that's business, you know.
It reminds me a little bit of Team X-Side in the days back with Billy Hammer and Greg Hancock.
They've been a step ahead, you know, so I've been a step ahead in New Zealand.
Lynn, I'll bring you back in.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about New Zealand because that was a really fantastic night for you at Auckland, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to look back. You know, I'm the only German rider who was winning a Speedway Grand Prix, and on the one side, it's awesome to win a Speedway Grand Prix. On the other side, I would love to don't win it and maybe just win maybe Grand Prix number 5 or 7, because the pressure I get after to win the first Grand Prix was unbelievable. And even in my team with my mechanics, some of them couldn't handle the pressure we get from the press, from the people, from the involvement. It's not easy if you come from 0 to 100 if you're coming the main man, you know, when you come to the second Grand Prix to Butkus and everyone will talk to you because you are leading the World Championship, you know, so you're the winner of the first Grand Prix. And that was not so easy for the whole pressure, but I mean, I still won the Grand Prix, you know, so I've been there, I enjoyed it. No one expected me, so that's been quite cool, you know.
So you're a lot into the marketing and selling yourself as a whole package. So did Egon Muller have a lot of influence in that? Because he was one of the first guys that went in that marketed himself in Speedway.
Yeah, I mean, Egon Muller is still I wouldn't say he's not my hero, but he's my mentor, you know. So I learned a lot from the way how he's doing it. It's quite cool. So I teach a lot of him, but I even now in the days I am now, I'm not more, I wouldn't say he's not a mentor, because I've been learning a lot throughout the years, throughout the marketing. I paid a lot of learning money, you know, so I even also make some fails, you know, but you have to, you know, sometimes you have to fail down to learn. And but I do a lot of self-marketing. I got a quite big merchandise range, and I even not only do it for me, I even do it for the other riders. I can tell you some background information was quite interesting. When I was racing in the Grand Prix, I've been fighting for 1 year with BSI to place my own merchandise. Oh, I'm gone now, short.
And you've gone off again. Oh, there you're back.
Again, here.
Yeah.
No, Egon Müller was helping me a lot, you know, to learn everything, to see what's happening, to work about all the stuff, and it's been quite cool. But I even, you know, I'm quite like, you know, I'm my own marketing manager, you know, so I know how to make some business.
I might ask you some tips later. So, are you going to bring out a song, a record as well?
Say again.
Are you going to bring out a record? Are you going to sing?
Sing? No, like Egon. No, not with me. You know, it's I sing when I have when I drink a beer, I can sing, but not standardly, so no worries.
And you were racing with them recently, but you were talking about the electric speedway bikes. Do you think that'll take off?
Yes and no. It's not about racing speedway. The most interesting in electric speedway bike is to hook up people who have no idea about speedway and no idea about motorsport, to hook them up in motorcycle racing and keep it simple. That's the only thing what is behind it. For me, real racing need to have some sound.
And the smell.
Yes.
Definitely the smell.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, you mentioned Formula One earlier, and I follow Formula E, so the electric version with the racing cars.
Yes.
I just think it's amazing. But I can understand why people would miss the roar of the engines, the sound. But in terms of competitive racing, very competitive.
Yeah, I mean, this is racing. They it's a different way of racing. This is. But I think motorsport needs sound. It's then you feel the atmosphere, you see the heart pumping. When the engine is coming apart, it's like when the Formula One car is coming. You will feel it. If it comes like, it's like okay, it comes like a bee. Like.
I'm just going to ask you, actually, I was going to ask you about, I find interesting what you're doing now with the league team, Longtrack, with the Polish league. Now, was that because the Bundesliga stopped with COVID and then Longtrack then the Devils joined the Polish league? Is that how that all happened?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we have no, at the end, we've been working very hard. We have a good network in Longtrack, and the people, at the end, you need to keep the big wheel turning, like Tina Turner saying, keep the big wheel turning. If you don't turn the big wheel, the ship will stop, And at the end, we had a quite good marketing with everything. And if there's no racing, you miss your sponsors, you miss your fans. It's like the racing ship in Landshut would be stopped if there will be no racing for 2 years. And we had the opportunity to. There've been some trouble in the German league with all the teams next to each other, and they didn't be liked so much, and then they decided we will try to make a step into the Polish league, and we get the opportunity, and so we made it, and straight out, I was as captain, I was showing the team how to win the league, and we've been winning the German Bundesliga for 6-7 times with Landshut now, and then we went to Poland, and now we've been winning the second Polish league, and now we're in the first Polish league, and we will see what's happening. Give me 1 second. Someone is on my door. It's ringing. Looks like I got some stuff. 1 second.
Okay. I've just started recording it because I think that's
no problem. Be back again.
That's a useful point. Lynn's talking about just off camera, but she was talking about how she's helping riders to get more of a brand or more awareness about them. And that links a bit to what you were saying, Martin. You're a bit of an entrepreneur, really, and thinking about all the different things that you're doing as a brand and in the different parts of your career. So it sounds like the flip side of the bad side of social media is also the good bit about getting sponsorship and getting the fans following. So it can go either way, really, can't it?
Yeah, you always have to look what's happening after your speedway career. Speedway, we are not if you're not football players, they will earn like millions of money, and when you finish career, you can say I don't have to work anymore. So in speedway, you need to have something behind the sport. That's the reason why I had to click out short for the meeting, because I just get 2 pellets delivered. I get sponsored from oil company the last years, and now I'm an oil salesman, so they bring me some stuff. I hand it out to sponsors, to friends. So I got some. I think the next 2 or 3 weeks I got a new homepage, and you can see everything what's happening. It's like I got on the one side is the main head of my company, Smolinski Performance. From the Smolinski Performance, then we have 3 main bases. The one base is Smolinski Racing. Everyone knows me from the racing stuff. Then we got the Smolinski tuning side, where I'm sitting here at the moment in my workshop and doing engines and repairing and vintage car restoration. And the next bit is Smolinski Oils and More, where I'm dealing, make some after sales market. I'm selling engine oil, AdBlue, cleaning products, you know, like Andas tires, you know. So this is all, it's all the stuff, it's everything after Speedway, you know. So the good thing is, in this case, I got the Speedway Sport. So I got a very good network to all the people. And for me, the motorsport is a door opener for me.
Right, and I noticed, I was on your website last night, and I noticed you've got a web chat facility. Is that manned or is it just messaging?
It's just messaging.
That's fine. That's the best way to do it. Otherwise, you'd need to sit there 24 hours a day.
No, it's no chance, you know. But it's working quite good. The people likes it, and it's you know. But at the moment, I'm a little bit short of manpower in my office because you know, I'm running out of one person, and so I'm still looking for someone new, like an office man, you know, like a woman who would just take care about all the stuff. You know, I got some good stuff with all my bookings, but it's a moment a little bit. It's not easy to find good people who are also interested in the motorsport, you know, and want to work on this level I am. You know, it's not easy. So, but we're getting there. We do.
I mean, obviously, I mean that's what I'm doing on a. I actually still work full time, but I get my first pension in 6 weeks. So I'm thinking of cutting back my full time hours to concentrate on helping the younger Speedway riders with their promotion, with their websites. And you're right, it takes a lot of time to organise it, and that's what I think that's what a lot of the riders are lacking. Like yourself, you need somebody running the backroom for you.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I mean, yeah, but even to be honest, sometimes the young boys, they want to think, oh, I'm a superstar, you know, I'm a speedway rider, I don't need to do anything, you know. I mean, if I look about me now, I'm a superstar, I'm a speedway rider, you know, but, you know, when my wife goes to sleep, I go in the office and, you know, make my bookings and work on my future, you know, so it's, so this is sometimes, you know, it's different, you know.
Yeah.
Every person is their own hero, like every person is their own, you know, it's your own possibility what you want to do out of your life, you know.
Yeah, and the other thing that I was talking to Michael about off camera, is Egon Muller actually rode for Glasgow Tigers, which is the team that I support, up at Coatbridge. See, when you come back, I know you've got some criteria about British Speedway tracks, particularly with the toilet facilities, but Glasgow has had a revamp. Would you have a think about that one?
Oh yeah, there've been some. I mean, that's all small things that makes a big difference, you know. So this is that's what they need, you know. I know. I made some. You're quite involved, and you quite know a lot about me when I'm talking. You know, I'm not the easiest person in communicating. I work on a very high level, but at the end, that's my character. You know, so this is the way how I am. And but yes, I mean, we have in England been some tracks that've been. You know, I don't want to take my woman there. You know, like to go for toilet because they don't look so nice there. So this is sometimes, you know. So everyone have to work to go a little bit better, you know. So this is, you know.
Yeah, well, Glasgow have done it, and you're quite right. 6 years ago, I wouldn't have gone there myself to die because it was awful. But they've got really nice facilities now.
It's nice to hear, you know, that something goes forward, you know.
Yes, there are still some tracks around the UK that it's, yeah, it's not so great. But you could maybe put Glasgow on your maybe list.
Okay, yeah, I will do.
So looking at it, I mean, we've kind of gone round a lot, really, a lot around your career, what you're doing now. It sounds like a lot of the riders, especially younger riders, could learn a lot from you both in terms of the setup, the machinery, but also their career and how they look at the future. So it's quite inspiring just hearing from you, Martin, and all the different things you're up to. What about, I'm just thinking really, would just be good to get a few questions to you, some random questions just about your thoughts and views, just to learn a little bit more about you, if you'd go with that with us. So the first question, I don't know if you remember this, but cast your mind back. Can you remember the first ever meeting that you went to, your first ever Speedway meeting?
Oh, the first ever Speedway meeting as a rider or as a supporter?
Whichever.
Okay, I can say the first ever meeting I done as a fan or as a supporter, I can't really know, because I mean my daddy been involved in the motorsport. I remember I was a young boy, with 5 or 6 years old, and when we had the rider presentation, sometimes the kid gave the riders the flowers, you know, and I was standing there and I gave Jason Crump the flowers, you know, and I was 6 years or 5 years old. He was maybe 18. And then 20 years later, I beat him, you know. So it's, you know, it's the life is changing, you know. My directly first meeting in Speedway, to be honest, I can't really remember. It was 89 or 90, you know. I was 6 years old, but I don't really have a big remember on it, you know. What I remember is like the years 1996, where I was like being quite quick on the junior bikes. Or what I remember is my first meeting in England. You know, it was 2004 when Peter Oakes called me and he said, "Hey, you would like to join the team? What's happening?" To get the average, I was coming end of 2004, you know, and to do some meetings, and that was quite cool over there. I really enjoyed it there.
Yeah, we've had Peter on actually. Yeah, he talked a bit about his time at Coventry and Peterborough as well. So yeah, some interesting times. Lynn, I don't know if you're ready with question 2. If you're ready to go, I'll catch you just as you're drinking.
Sorry, it's a bit of a frog in my throat there.
By the way, Martin, these are all 5 questions, and you get 3 points for each. So you're on for a 5 ride maximum. So you've got your first 3 points.
Okay.
Okay. So, what was your favourite track?
At the moment, I have no favorite track. At the moment, to winning a world championship or to be at top of the world, you have to like every track. You know, I have some tracks that are favorite for me. I mean, for me, one of the favorite tracks is Uppbeat. You know, it's not far away from me here. These years, I always been setting up my Uppbeat. I always was setting up my goals to be in the Speedway Grand Prix, to be on the highest level, to be in the top of the world of Speedway. So there have been a lot of qualification rounds at Uppbeat. That's been quite nice. And I would say in England, one of my favorite tracks in England was still Coventry, you know. So I've been racing there for 3 years, and I love the track there. But at the end, when you're winning, you know, when you score like always 3 points, or when you go like, I mean, in the year 2013, you know, like when you go, it doesn't matter. I went to Arena Essex, I went to Coventry, I went to Birmingham, I went to Lakeside, to Bellevue. I went there, scored 50 points and go home. So I liked every track.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of it's your mental attitude. You were almost entertaining any track rather than some people who prefer the biggers or whatever. So
yes,
yeah.
I just got one more call again. It's crazy what's happening at the moment here. You know, so
calling again. Okay, so the third question. So you got 6 points out of 6, Martin. Your third question was about who your favourite rider is. You mentioned Egon Muller. I don't know if that was your hero growing up, but do you have a favourite rider?
Yes, Simon Wick.
Simon Wigg. Was that from the Longtrack as well?
To explain, because I was a young boy, you know, when you're racing with between 6 and 10 years old, and you're going around the tracks and on grass tracks where Simon was always involved, and Simon always had time for the kids. And when he asked, "Can I have autograph?" he always had time for. When he asked him a question, he answered the question. When he went to other riders and he can have autograph, "I have no time now, you know, go." You know, I was a young boy, you know, so, and that was the way how he treats me as a young boy. I loved it, you know. He recognized me after the 5th times I went there and asked him, "Hey, can I have autograph?" "You were here last week, you know. You must be, you know, are you racing here?" Like, he had some good jokes, and in these days he gave me some good advice for my personal future, the way how I want to treat fans, you know, of even kids who are coming up to me for ask autographs.
Legend, Speedway grass and on the long track. So what
yes,
a legend. Yeah, thanks for that, Martin. Lynn, you're back on. We got 9 points out of 9.
We've got 9 points out of 9. Right, now we looked at your favourite track, but your least favourite one, I understand there was one in the UK that you really didn't like.
Yeah, there was one track in England. It was in England. I must remember. For maybe there was. I think it was. Let me think. It was Arena Essex. I think. Oh no! It wasn't Arena Essex. It was somewhere down south. I had a track I didn't like.
And it begins with an E.
Eastbourne Eagles. Here we are. I remember. I can tell you. I got a friend of mine. He was living in Eastbourne, and I never really. I had one good meeting out of 10 at Eastbourne. You know, it was like Eastbourne was never my favorite track. You know, but I mean, it's racing. You know, it goes up and down. You know, and down. I couldn't. You know, it was not my track. But that's racing. You know, we are just humans, no machines.
Yes, I mean that's my job here. I find out the things that you forgot about yourself.
No, I didn't forget about it. No worries. You know. I'm very honest to myself, you know. I don't want to say I've been good. I mean, this track was never my favorite. I think I never scored really points there.
Okay. You want to do the last one, Michael?
Yeah, Lynn's like our private investigator. That's why Lynn's on the podcast, because she finds out everything. The last question for your maximum. What's the best meeting you've either watched or raced in? And maybe it's the New Zealand, winning the Grand Prix, I don't know. But what's your favourite meeting when you think back?
In England or all over?
Anywhere.
There are some questions. There's there've been some good meetings. For me, one of the meeting I have quite in my backup, you know, was when we was winning the. I come 2005 as full time as a rider, as a professional rider to England, and. I mean, we've been winning in the second leg, you know, with a very we had a good first leg at Coventry. In the second leg, we've been winning the league against Belbury. We've been beating Jason Crump there, you know. We've been, I think I scored 7 or 6 points, so it was good as number 6. So that was a meeting I really remember, and you know, that was some feeling what he had was unbelievable, but also like meetings like winning the Longtrack World Championship with a last heat decider against Dimitri Berger. I mean, at the end, he's winning or I'm winning, you know. So we had a last heat decider. We've been equal in points, and I beat him. That been some good days. Or even I had some good, nice good meetings at the end. I don't want to miss any single meeting I've been racing in, you know, even good ones or bad ones. It's every single meeting, every achievement, it's something nice. I mean, I've been quite a lot in my career. I mean, in Germany, I got 8 German titles. I was winning 10 times the German Bundesliga. I was winning Swedish League, Polish League, English League. So there've been a lot of nice winning moments, you know. So it's been quite cool.
Well, it's the 5-ride maximum. You've nailed it. You're definitely our first world long track champion. You're definitely our first Speedway Grand Prix winner as well. So we've broken new ground with you today, Martin. And
that's good, you know.
We're really grateful for your time. It's been really fascinating to learn more about you and to hear from you. And I'm sure Lynn would like to say goodbye as well, perhaps.
Yes, but can you do me a favour? As I say, my German's needs to good. It's not great, but I've watched you saying the no brakes, no fear thing in German.
Yes.
And I just think it sounds nice. Can you give us no brakes, no fear, no gear in German?
Fuck, it's no problem. We're racing Speedway. No brakes, no fear, no limits, you know. This is Speedway. We are accelerating the motorcycle from 0 to 100 faster than a Formula 1 bike, you know. That's Speedway. Enjoy it, come and go, and feel the smell.
Do you want to hear that in German as well, Lynn? Is that what you want?
Yes, please.
In German as well, please, Martin.
Oh, in German. No brakes, no fear, no limits. Das ist Speedway. Keine Bremsen, Beschleunigung der Motorräder von 0 auf 100, gleich wie die Formel 1, you know, oder sogar schneller als die Formel 1. Komm vorbei, riech den Geruch des Rizinusöls. Das ist Motorsport live.
There you go. There you go. That's made you very happy.
It just makes it sound very exciting as well.
It's good. Nice to hear.
Well, look, I think we need to let you get on with your work before the postman comes. So
yeah, I got 1 hour to go, you know, so I'm a little bit, but I'm getting there. I got like 20-25 minutes now, so it's all good.
Brilliant. It's great.
Andrew is nearly ready, you know, the clocks are on, you know, it's just like the final assembling, you know, so it's
Oh, good. Well, good luck with the recovery as well, obviously, from your operation. I hope you're back on a bike before too long. And it's been really nice meeting you, Martin.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care.